Hello, social media friends and family. How are you guys doing today? Trying to fix my bonnet. It's the string to make it tight. I kind of just got up and dropped my kids off at school, so I haven't really gotten ready for the day yet. But I just wanted to speak on something because they say that we are supposed to be able to learn things from our elders and things like that. But, the day and time that we live in, our elders are a big problem. The older people in our lives who are here and they're supposed to set examples for us, they're not doing a good job at setting examples, And I'm going to give a few examples about what I mean from my personal experience. So, for a large amount of my working period, I worked as a CNA, which is a certified nurse assistant, or a CENA, a CENA, which is, I believe, is a certified evaluated nurse assistant, meaning you took the board test and everything like that, the state test, and you got your license. You have to renew it every 2 years, or at least that's how it was when I was a CENA. So being a CNA is really a woman's field, even though there are men CNAs. And being a CNA, you deal with a lot of different women as your coworkers, and a lot of them are older than you, and some are fresh into the game, so they're new. Because you could be a CNA, I believe, at 17, if I'm not mistaken, or fresh out of high school. You don't even have to have your diploma to start being a CNA. So you have a lot of young girls that are CNAs, and you have a lot of older ladies who are CNAs because they've been CNAs for years. And you might go into a working field and you end up having to be trained by an older lady or whatnot because, of course, they've been on the job. They could train you for it. So you might end up working with somebody and you can get a nice older lady who wants to show you the ropes, show you everything. And why not? Especially because it's going to help take a load off of her workload, right? But then you got some who be like, here I go. I got to train this young girl. Here she go. And don't let you have a nice body, or you're very active and youthful and beautiful, because, you might get the wrong lady who jealous of that. And then they have the attitude of, here she goes. She thinking she done learned something. She thinks she know how to do this job. I've been doing this job for 20 plus years. Who is this 20-year-old to come in here thinking she know how to do my job better than me? When it's never that you thought you knew how to do the job better than that person. They trained you, you learned the ropes, and now you have your own routine that you go by, and it just happens to be a little bit more faster than theirs, or a little bit more successful than theirs, or your clients like you a little more because you are uplifting and youthful and bright, and you have a bright spirit. And some people take that the wrong way. They feel as if you are the newbie the rookie trying to do a job better than them. Instead of them training you and like, I trained her. She doing real good. I did a good job training her. Look at her now. She doing a good job. Sometimes you never get that. You get the opposite. And that's crazy to me. Or, for instance, in a man's sake, I've witnessed it at the barbershop. You the new barber. You young. You just building up your clientele. You working with an older guy who got plenty of clientele. But you know how to do all the hairstyles that the young guys want. You using the spray. You lining them up all extra crispy. You know how to do designs. You doing dreads. You know how to do that. And the older guy doesn't know exactly how to do all the new things that the younger guys want. So they like, look at this rookie. Look at him. And he think he about to come in here stealing clientele. When you are older, so you move slower. So maybe you're booked, and this new person is new and he doesn't have as much clientele, but one of your customers see how he cut hair. He's like, you good. He's good, And my barber, he got 3 more heads in front of me. Let me just go ahead. I got something to do. Let this newbie cut my hair. Now it's a problem and it's beef. But why? I don't get that. I do not get it. But in the world we live in, that's how it is. And it was this older lady who was speaking about me. Meanwhile, she knows nothing about me, not my name. I never held a conversation with her. I mean, maybe she knows my name. I don't know. A lot of people talk about stuff. But I personally don't know her. I don't know her name. I've never held a conversation with her or anything like that. But I've overheard her talking about me. And I know she was talking about me because she was trying to be specific and extra loud, right? And it's just like the things that she was saying, it made me think, because she like, oh, well, don't nobody want no young girl who just think that they don't gotta work no job, think that they supposed to be ripping and running the streets. Like, don't nobody care if you get no little truck or nothing like that. What is that? But in this day and time, people don't make money the same. A lot of people make money off the internet. A lot of people are influencers. A lot of people don't work a 9 to 5. They do other things. So from the outside looking in, you never know how anyone is making money or what they're doing. But you're speaking on something that you don't know. And as an elder, if you feel as if you notice something going wrong with a younger person and you have advice to give them, it's okay to give people advice opposed to trying to think that you're better than them or belittle them or talk about who their parents may have been and what they failed to teach that child, because you never know what nobody has gone through or what anyone was taught or what they're trying to teach themselves. But instead, you're on the outside looking in, trying to criticize, and you're doing a horrible, horrible job. So I just was thinking about that. And it made me wonder, like, what is the purpose of our elders if they can't teach us anything, but they rather belittle us or, you know, gang up to go against us or talk about us in our generation, but y'all are the ones who supposedly had to lead this generation. You are our parents or our parents' parents, and you're complaining about the way that we were brought up, but that was kind of like your responsibility. Like, you have to look at yourself at some point in time instead of just criticizing the younger generation. Think about yourself, because you are the ones who taught us things. You set the examples. But people be so quick to say, well, back in my day or when my mama was alive, this didn't go this way, or we wouldn't have did this, or okay, well, what would you have done? How about you sit and explain that instead of trying to down talk and belittle the next person who may possibly just don't even know? And it's always ways to approach people. And that's crazy to me. It's always a way to approach someone where they will be able to hear what you're saying. But then older people be so quick to say this generation is disrespectful. That's because y'all give us disrespect. It takes respect to get respect. And even though we may be younger than you, look at your attitude and you wonder why it rubs off on us. But people don't want to accept the credit. If you constantly down talking me because I may be younger than you or more active than you or more prettier than you, not to even try to be like that, but if you down talking me because of little things like that, how do you think my attitude is going to be towards you? Every time I come around you, you rolling your eyes. Or every time I come around you, you have something to say about what I have on, or how I raise my children, or how I speak, or something like that. But you're not giving any advice. You're not helping or anything like that. You're just talking, wasting your breath, because you're not talking directly to me to give me advice, but you're talking at me and about me, which is wasting your motherfucking time. Because either I'm going to listen to you and pop off on you, or I'm going to ignore you. And you're not going to want either one of those results. But you're not coming to me as an adult, the older, elder adult that you are. It's crazy. It's crazy. And it's crazy how our older people will want to see us down bad and shit. I don't get it. But that's just like in this apartment, the house across the the parking lot. The lady yesterday, she was outside and she was like trimming her branches or bushes, like the little branches that were overgrown over her fence and they needed to be cut off. She was cutting them off. And then she threw all of the branches and the trash into the middle of the parking lot. And she cleaned it up. But she left all these big, huge branches and sticks in front of my car. Only my car. She cleaned up the rest. But in front of my car, she left all these branches and stuff. So if I roll over them, it's a possibility that they can get stuck into my tires, or I could probably get a flat tire or whatever. Now, yesterday, while she was doing this, I watched her. I was looking out the window. And I'm like, I wonder if she's going to pick up all that stuff. And I was leaving as she was picking up the stuff. Me and my children had somewhere to go. So when we were leaving, she was cleaning it up. So I'm thinking, okay, she's going to clean it up and it's not going to be here when I come back. But when I came back, I noticed that all the trash was just in front of my parking spot, but nowhere else. And if I just got my car, right, and everybody wants me to move and wants to see me making all these moves and things, why would you be doing shit to jeopardize my vehicle? So this morning on my way to school, because I left it there to see if she was going to come back. Maybe she got tired. Again, she's older. Maybe she got tired and needed to take a break and she was going to come back out and finish cleaning up the rest. But no, that wasn't her intentions. Her intentions was to leave all of her trash by my car. So I took the broom and I swept it back by her fence, and all those big ass branches, I picked them up and threw them back into her yard. Because, ma'am, you don't jeopardize my car. And what is your problem, you old wench? And if you felt like I did notice like 3 water bottles was in the debris or whatever. And I buy water bottles a lot. So I'm like, do she think my kids probably threw these water bottles out? And even if they did, you could ask them to pick them up. But she picked the water bottles up. She left the branches and the big ass sticks and shit. Because I don't have a problem telling my kids to pick up something. I yell at them all the time. If I notice that something was thrown out the window or something, like a few days ago, I noticed that some of the yogurts that I bought, I seen one of the yogurt containers down by somebody's car. I made my kids go down there and pick the yogurt container up and go throw it in the garbage, because don't be throwing shit out the window. Especially, this is an apartment. We don't just live here. But if this was our personal house as well, I don't want y'all to throw trash out the window and trash blows around and it goes into other people's yards and things like that. So I made them go outside and pick the trash up. But you, your big overgrown ass, old and overgrown, thought that you should be throwing this trash in front of my car. But you think that somebody, furthermore, is going to show you some respect. You don't even know how to show respect. You're very rude and disrespectful. Meanwhile, you think a younger generation is going to want to respect you. And people need to sometimes sit and think about why they're mad at others. You mad at somebody because you did something wrong? Or somebody in your family did something wrong and now they have to pay for the consequences and you got an attitude about it? It just shows even how immature you are. It just shows all over you that you are the problem. You are an old, immature woman. You can't teach nobody shit. So for you to come outside trying to be subliminal and throw messages out about how people should do better, you need to go into your bathroom and look in the mirror and give yourself that very same speech. Because what type of example are you setting for probably your grandchildren? Because you probably got those. Or your nieces and nephews. Because I'm pretty sure that if you have children, they're grown. Meanwhile, you out here acting like you the one who's in your early 20s. Older people should sit and think about the way that they treat the younger generation, and you will probably understand why millennials act the way that they do. It is crazy. The stuff that we have to deal with. And it's ways to talk to people about personal things as an adult. I'm gonna give another example. Like one time I was in Walmart and this is another reason that I know people listen to me, even though it doesn't show it on views and things like that. I know that a lot of people listen to me. And one day I was on Facebook and I was talking about a woman's issue, like bacterial vaginosis and yeast infections. And I was talking about how I was getting them on the regular and I couldn't figure out why, not even being sexually active or anything like that. And I was talking about it, and I was talking about going to the doctor, and the doctors couldn't figure out like why I was having this issue or whatever, and I didn't have any sexual transmitted diseases or anything like that. I wasn't even being sexually active or anything. So I was talking about that, and I was basically asking other people if they had the same issue, and there was a few people who said that they do. But I happened to go to Walmart one day, and it was an older white lady in Walmart, right? And she walked up to me, and we was in the aisle with dishes. And she just randomly started talking to me. Like, I wasn't talking about dishes. I wasn't talking to her or anything. I was actually talking to someone else. And she randomly walked up to me, and she said, "You know what, ma'am?" I said, "Huh?" She said, instead of me using a towel when I wash dishes, and put my dishes on a towel, I use a dish rack so that I could be able to, the dishes could be able to drain and dry properly. Because when people wash their dishes and they put them on a towel, it just soaks up all of the water, but it leaves the water in the towel, and the towel will begin to mildew. So she said you need to use something like a dish rack, and that way you can just change it out frequently, you know, and it's not absorbing the liquid, it's actually draining it down, and you will eventually have to pour the water out of your dish rack, right? And when she said that to me, I instantly thought about the conversation that I had recently had on Facebook, and I was talking about pads and tampons and things like that. And it instantly dawned on me like, when we use tampons, they absorb all of the blood. Granted, you have to change your tampon frequently, but before you change it, and if you don't have a moment to change it right then and there, you just have backed up blood sitting in you, causing all types of bacteria and things to be able to grow. But when you use a pad, the blood is draining outside of your body and the pad is catching it. And then eventually you just have to change the pad and throw the pad in the garbage, opposed to the tampon holding all of the blood inside of you until you take it out. And then there's blood clots and everything else coming out as well. A simple conversation from a stranger, an older lady who I wasn't even talking to, helped change my life a lot, because I haven't had the problem since. I've only strictly been using pads and no tampons. And I haven't had the problem since. But this lady came up to me out of nowhere, and she felt as if she needed to give me some advice. And I took it from her, even though I wasn't talking to her. And I didn't feel as if she was being disrespectful or anything, but I understood the message that she was trying to deliver to me. And I thank her for that. I don't know who she is, but I thank her for that. So you never know how people is going to take advice if you try to give it to them, as long as you come at them correct. But thinking that you are just so much better than somebody because you're older, or you think you have more education or more funds or a better living situation, does not make you better than the next person at all. Especially depending on how you got to where you got. Because if you was robbing, stealing, killing, and taking from other people just to get where you are, you kind of don't have the rank to give people advice. You're a thief. You're a scammer. You take from other people to try to make your life appear better. Who are you to give advice? People should think about that. But it's the older people for me. Older people watching younger people come into fields that they have been in for years, and they notice that these younger people are catching on faster and doing their jobs a little bit better, or they didn't go through this long, extensive training that an older person had to go through, because in this day and time, technology has been invented and it makes things a lot faster for us, and we can catch on to things a lot quicker. So of course, we are moving different. We're moving faster. We're learning different things. We might be skipping what y'all knew to be critical steps to get a job done, and we passing all that, and we're still getting the same adequate results. And that upsets you. Why? Why are you mad? Because of improvement? It should actually be making your job a little bit easier, but because you feel like somebody is taking the spotlight away from you, you have an attitude. That's crazy. I don't get that. And older people should take a moment to think about that. Even pastors. It's older pastors out here that's too busy down talking young people in the way that we live our life that you can't even teach us how to be a better person or a better Christian. Because you're too busy. Some of these pastors are trying to be street hood niggas their motherfucking selves. Because you want to keep up. But then under the same breath, you talking about this generation and how back in your day it would have never went like this. But instead of trying to teach us things and guide us, you too busy trying to outshine us. Whatever happened to out with the old, in with the new? So some old beliefs have to die away so that new ones can be brought into play. And people act like that doesn't make sense. They can't grasp that, and I don't get it. That's like for an air fryer. Most older people are used to frying chicken in grease. I ain't eating no air fryer food. Air this. What is air? How do air fry? But air fryers are really convenient. You can cook a whole meal in them bitches. You don't got to stand over the stove and watch it. You set the timer, you set the degrees, and you come back to it. And you have nice, crisp, crunchy chicken that is even more healthier. But it's a problem to some people. But why? People have to think about the things that they do and say. And people are afraid of change and they don't like change. But change is for the better. People don't get that though. Stuck in your ways. You so stuck in your ways that you too busy down talking the next generation. When that's the future. You gotta die one day. Who's going to be here for your children and your grandchildren? How are your grandchildren and your children going to survive once you pass away if all you did was belittle their generation and talk about them in the way that they were being brought up? Not teaching them shit. And I listen to people, whether I like what they say or I don't say. I listen to people. And I know people be listening to me. That's just like when I went to the school the other day and I said that the lady was telling me like, oh, well, maybe you should basically give your daughter a little push to do better in school. And I ended up yelling at my daughter because yes, granted, ma'am, you are right. I need to give her a push. But where you wrong at is I talk to them every day about this shit. Go to school. Do what you're supposed to do. It's one thing, okay, I can see if you were getting there a little bit late when you were walking, it was cold, it was snowing, but if I'm dropping you off at school now, it's no reason that your first hour teacher should be complaining about you being late. It's no reason that any of your teachers should say that you're not in class or that you're not turning your work in, because we talk about this on the regular. So I don't need nobody telling me, oh, you need to talk to your daughter about school, because I talk to my children about school on the regular. Okay? So it's not that I wasn't taking the advice. I was taking the advice. It's that I give this advice already on the regular. So because my child thought it was a game, I had to let her know that it isn't a game, because when I'm talking to her smooth and calm and nice like this, go to school, do your work, don't get in no trouble, just do what you have to do and come home. Oh, that wasn't Satan. She thought it was all fun and games and she can run around the school and do what she want to do with her friends. So now that we're at the school and you have somebody telling me the same thing that I tell you on a regular, now I'm about to get a little bit loud because obviously you didn't hear me when I was nice. And I am your parent. You get what I'm saying? So that's letting an older person tell me something and I still relay the message to my child, even though I already talk about this with my child on a regular. It's not that I don't know how to take advice, because I do. But it's a way that you're going to bring advice to me. And don't get me wrong, I didn't feel like the lady at the school was disrespectful whatsoever. But I'm just saying, people don't know what you be talking about in your home. People don't know what you go through per se. They only know what they see. And she even said, I didn't even know who your daughter was. I had to, somebody else had to come and tell me, meaning that they were talking about my daughter anyway. You get what I'm saying? And me. Not saying that we were the only ones that they were talking about, but for a fact they were talking about my child and something that I had said. So it just be the older people to me. Even teachers. Teachers be hating their students. Your job is to teach this student how to do the topic of your discussion. The topic of your class. You teaching them. It be some students who like, oh, they know a lot about things. They can even show you different ways of how to do things. And you like, she thinks she's smart. She thinks she's cute. She thinks she know everything. No, she just knows something. And she knows it a different way than the way that you're teaching. And she's talking about it and you're taking it offensive. No, you like struggling by yourself using this Hoyer machine, and us two younger females can lift this person up real quick, throw him on the bed, and we could be done giving a bed bath and everything in about 30 minutes, and you've been in here for an hour and 15 minutes. Now your whole day is backed up when we on the go, and now you mad because you still got clients to take care of and I'm done. But instead of saying, hey, I know I trained you, but can you come help me real quick? You too good for that. Oh, where you learn that at? Come show me how you do that. I'm going to teach the other students how to do that in my other classes. But instead, I just don't like her. She just thinks she know everything. Her mama probably act like that. These kids nowadays, they mamas they act just like they mamas, ratchet. No, not ratchet. She just knows how to voice her opinion. She knows how to do it a different way. Crazy. Even it's all types of jobs, schools. It's a lot of different things. Same thing at Amazon. When I had first started working at Amazon, and I was a packer, I had to learn how to read the machine, figure out what box it got to go in, build this box up real quick, and then put the stuff in, close it up, tape it up, and send it down the line. I was moving slow at first. So everybody was like, oh, I don't know. She probably ain't gonna get it. She moved too slow. It's not that I didn't get it. It's just that I was moving at my own pace. But once I got down packed, because everything is kept on the computer. Once I got down packed with that shit, I pop my headphones in, get in my zone. I would be getting that shit boxed up so motherfucking quick, sending it down the line. Then it became a problem. Now she moving fast. Now she walking around. Oh, she ain't backed up. She gets to move around now. Oh, she boxing shit faster than me now. But when I was moving slow, it was a problem. But now that I'm moving faster than you, it's still a problem. Shit is crazy. And I'm getting fit in this bitch too, and you still fucking fat. Whew. I'm telling you, everywhere. And it be the older people, it be people that's older than you. Age-wise or experience-wise. And that is crazy. People do not like change. But you think that the world is going to change and be a better place? You don't even want to change? People sick. You want somebody to do better, but you sabotaging them. Y'all wonder why people don't go to church. Wonder why people don't be wanting to come to work. Wonder why people branch off and do their own things. Because look at the way that these people, places, and things treat people. It's crazy. It be the elders though. People don't want to go to church. People be discouraged about going to church because churches be having cliques, favorites, the secret societies. People be fucking the pastor and the first lady be sitting there looking dumb. But y'all are the ones who supposed to be setting examples for us, and y'all be the ones down talking us. In the church, you're supposed to be able to come as you are. You're supposed to go there to find God. But some people go to church and never want to go back. Even gay people. You got some churches that accept gay people, but some churches that just going to immediately start, that is not the work of God. Like, damn, even if that was true, you don't know how to tell these people that in a better way. You don't know how to not try to blast them out in front of the whole the congregation. And you know that selling drugs and not paying tithes is a sin. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Anything to get you some motherfucking money. Skip the fact how the selling the drugs and what the drug does to the people who that you sell it to and shit like that. Skip all that. We just gonna talk about how you selling drugs and you ain't paying tithes. The audacity of you motherfuckers. Y'all really be killing me and really be expecting people to want to show you respect and to look up to you and consider you to be a leader just because you're an elder. Look at you. But anyway, have a great day.